Welcome to Reliability Matters, a podcast for the electronic assembly industry. Each episode covers topics related to reliability, best practices, and environmentally responsible assembly techniques, with insights from experts across the electronic assembly industry. Now, here's your host, Mike Konrad.
And we are back in sunny and very hot Southern California in Anaheim at the Apex Expo. I am sitting once again in the Global SMT booth, and Summer and her talented team of very talented people are pushing the buttons at exactly the right time, making my guests and I look as good as we can possibly look, and that takes a lot of work there. So thanks to the amazing team behind the control panel, and thanks to Trevor Galbraith for letting me interlope in his booth to record a few short episodes of Reliability Matters. My guest today is Miles Moreau. He's with KIC. You've heard of Miles before, you've seen him before, he's been on my show before, and we've talked quite a bit about thermal profiling and that whole genre of our industry. Since this show's about reliability, that subject of thermal profiling plays beautifully into reliability because it has everything to do with reliability. So Miles, thanks for getting drug out of your booth. The consolation prize is you get to get off your feet and sit on a nice comfy chair for the next 10 minutes or so.
That always works for me. So. Yeah, it's good to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you. Let's talk about first what's new in the world of profiling. I've known you for a lot of years, and I know that things happen over time. There's evolutions and revolutions within your industry. What's going on today? What's new and exciting in that world today?
Well, there's a couple of things that we've looked at from the profiling standpoint, and that's one is just to have a little bit more variation and use out of the profiler for different applications, because there is a lot of ways you can solder a board. So one area we started to delve in, it's for certain situations where customers are using vapor phase. So adapting the profiler so it can get you good results on the vapor phase is a key thing. One really key thing though that we've done is a profiling tool is usually used as a spot check or NPI setup. So a lot of the times that investment is sitting on the shelf.
Right.
And so given our background in process monitoring, we're like, how can we combine profiling and setting up your process and still get value out of that tool while you're running production, so it's not just sitting there. Yeah. And also to give you that kind of comfort in between profiles. So if you're profiling once at the beginning of the production run, or maybe just once a week or something, what's happening in between?
That is such an important point, and it's funny you brought that up, because I was just talking on another show this morning about a DOE that my company and Foresight put together. We ran a whole bunch of boards, test coupon type boards, through a reflow oven at the proper peak reflow temperature. And then we ran additional boards, exact same material set, but we slightly lowered the peak reflow temperature by a 5% variation. We subjected all the boards to surface insulation resistance testing, and all the boards that were reflowed at the proper peak reflow temperature passed SIR without the need to clean, no clean. All the boards that ran at 5% under the peak reflow temperature failed SIR. They would fail in the field.
Right.
They'll suffer electrochemical migration in this case. And that, to me, just brings home the moral of the story, which is don't rely solely on a golden board and then go, high five,
Right.
we passed. Everything's great now, because things change. Things change in ovens. The last time it was maintained changes some things. When you did your golden board, you probably ran one board through the oven. Thermal characteristics are different, one board versus an entire conveyor full of boards. How many machines have been connected sharing the same ventilation system? How many have come offline? Is the ventilation a little different through the machine?
Right.
So the whole point was to check regularly, maybe daily, maybe throughout the day, maybe once a week, whatever works for you. But to rely on a golden board where everything was perfect that day, 6 months ago or 6 years ago, is kind of driving with your eyes closed, because the last time you looked, everything looked clear.
And you can't really know if you don't measure, right?
That's right.
That's really where you get the knowledge from. And so one of the things we looked at, because we do have the automatic profiling systems, but what can you do to take that next step of, okay, I've set up my golden board profile, now what's happening once I start production?
Yeah.
And so we took a kind of combination of our different systems and said, okay, what if we embed probes? So have a temperature measurement in each zone, use your profiler that's normally sitting on the shelf, plug it in. So now during production, if you see that 5% change in the temperatures that's affecting your peak, you can have the system tell you, hey, that golden board profile is starting to drift.
Rather than waiting for the board to come back on an RMA.
Yeah, or you run it a week later and the profile, oh yeah, it did change. When during that last week did it change?
Right.
So with our heat map probe, we're able to kind of give that extra information during production and in between those verification profiles.
Yeah. We got to kind of wrap up because this is a very short time frame. This is like speed dating. This is like really fast. What would you say today is the most challenging aspect of profiling that maybe you didn't face 20, 30 years ago, when you were a kid in this business?
Well, it's funny you mentioned one thing we did recently. I worked with RIT, and we did a paper, and Chris Shea, on thermocouple attachment, which is, we did one in 1999. On our website, all the papers and studies we did, it was the most downloaded or viewed.
A hot topic.
And the most basic thing, right? You're just talking about attaching a thermocouple, but it's, I think, the biggest pain point in profiling that people have. So we decided, well, because of high density boards, miniaturization, is maybe we can give a new spin on this, and what are the challenges now of attaching a thermocouple with all these different package sizes and complex boards that have almost no space on them. So that was something that we took up and came out with a really good study with the SMTA that showed different methods, and none is necessarily this is the best, this is the worst. It's more for your particular situation, what's the best method you can attach the thermocouple to get good results, so that the measurement you take is telling you what's happening.
Nice.
And that, I think, such a simple topic has stayed relevant throughout my 30 plus years in profiling, that is important every day.
Yeah. There are certain issues that just never go away. They just get a little bit more complicated, but the same root issue. Well, Miles, thank you very much. It's good to catch up to you. It's nice to see you in person rather than just pixel form. So I know you actually still exist. And thanks for spending a very short amount of time with me and my audience. And all good things must come to an end. So my conversation with you and your experience in this beautiful, comfy chair is coming to an end.
All right.
It's back to the real world on your feet in your booth.
All right. Appreciate it, Mike.
Thanks, Miles. Good to see you.
Ko-Young is leading a smart revolution that will change the world of electronics manufacturing. Based on our pioneering True 3D measurement-based inspection technology, we revolutionize the solder paste inspection market to such great lengths that 1 in 2 SPIs sold today is from Ko-Young. Building our SPI technology, we expanded to automated optical inspection, also known as AOI. Every year, we introduce new award-winning innovations and have proudly earned the respect from thousands of customers across diverse industries. Aside from our R&D center in Korea, we have research facilities focused on artificial intelligence and deep learning across the world to help us further develop proprietary AI technologies for your challenges. With our global network of sales and service centers, we aim to respond quickly to your needs and to deliver the highest level of customer satisfaction.